今天民阵之声向大家介绍一位澳大利亚华人社区领袖何威廉武功大师。何威廉大师不仅武艺高强，同时又是一位嫉恶如仇、爱憎分明、为人仗义、乐喜好施的长者。今年他已75岁高龄，但是他仍然广泛参与各种社区活动，身兼多个华人社区的会长和顾问。特别在最近全澳华人支持香港反送中的这场民主运动中，他身先士卒，给年轻一代以巨大的力量。澳洲民阵为此聘请何大师为名誉主席、终身顾问。为表彰他对社区的杰出贡献，澳大利亚政府2次授予何大师杰出澳大利亚人奖。澳大利亚华人社区均以何大师为荣。同许多早期来到澳洲的华侨一样，何大师以及他的家人受尽中共迫害，全部家产被没收，家人有些被抢逼，剩下四散逃离中共。何大师与中共结下深仇大恨。何大师来澳洲后，一直致力于推动中国民主化的活动，是中国民主化运动的坚定支持者。在最近驱除中共代理人的运动中，何大师全力支持政府，公开向中共代理人宣战。中共代理人闻何大师大名而丧胆，落荒而逃。何大师通过教授中华武功，同主流社会建立的广泛的联系，是民阵进入澳洲社区的军师和带路人。民阵澳洲将在何大师的指引下融入社区，建设社区，从根本驱逐中共影响力。
Prime Minister Paul Hawke, former Premier Mary Ainsworth, Consul General from the People's Republic of China, Liu Xiufang. Can I have also like to recognize the Chairman of the Community Relations, Stefan Kukarian, Meredith Bertman, President of Legislative Council, Angela Delamore, Member for Drummond, and John Bacon, Mayor for Burwood, and Councillor Ernest Wong, Councillor Clifton Wong, Jenny Wallace from the Hong Kong Economic Office, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Government House on this very special occasion. We're here for the presentation of the New South Wales Premier's Chinese Community Service Award, and of course to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Before I invite the Premier Yama to speak tonight, I would like to take a moment to thank the Premier for hosting this great event for the Chinese community in the Year of the Dog. How about a hand for the Premier? Thank you, Premier. According to the Chinese tradition, the animal ring this year, in which a person is born, has profound influence on the personality and attribution of that person. And this Year of the Dog, people who are truthful and clever, with a strong sense of fairness and devotion, and who are open-minded, who listen to reason, who listen to people, who put the well-being of others before themselves, they will be rewarded. This sounds like Premier Yama, don't you? And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, can I ask you to put your hand together to welcome our Premier, Morris Yama, please.
Thank you, Henry, for your welcome, your kind words. Prime Ministers Hawke and Whitlam, Premier Ainsworth, Honourable Consul General. Now there's too many of our friends from local government, so I won't go through all the names, but our distinguished friends from local government, the President of the Legislative Council, the Honourable Meredith Bergman, the Member for Drummond, Angela Delamore, other parliamentary representatives, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honour to be with you tonight to celebrate the Lunar New Year, an observance that dates back more than 4,600 years, making it one of the oldest festivals on earth. And as Henry's mentioned, 2006 is of course the Year of the Dog, one of the most auspicious years in the Chinese calendar. I'm told that people who are born in the Year of the Dog possess the best traits of human nature, with a deep sense of loyalty, truthful, clever, open-minded, making them excellent listeners, but above all, have a strong sense of fairness and devotion. And it confirms the old saying, if you want a friend in politics, go and buy a dog. Indeed. But seriously, I hope that the Year of the Dog brings good fortune and prosperity to us all. Not just those born in this year, but everyone, and especially appropriate that we gather the time of Australia Day, just metres from where it all began in Sydney Cove, to celebrate a community that has made an immeasurable contribution to the development of this nation. The first Chinese immigrant came in 1818, the first large numbers coming in the 1840s, and that makes Chinese settlement almost as old as European settlement itself. And you cannot tell the story of Australia without telling the story of the Chinese. And that is reflected in the Chinese Community Service Awards and the Young Chinese Volunteer Award. The Community Service Awards are named in honour of three great Australians of Chinese heritage. Victor Chang, one of the world's great heart surgeons who was tragically murdered in 1991 and whose widow Anne and their children Marcus, Vanessa and Matthew have honoured us with their presence tonight. As you've heard, Jack Wong Su, an authentic World War II hero who at age 80 is still alive and living in Perth, and whose son Barry has honoured us with his presence tonight. And Quong Ta, the businessman, philanthropist, who was one of the most famous figures in Sydney a century ago. And I want to say a word about Quong Ta. He was a pioneer of trade between China and New South Wales, and I think he'd be delighted to see how far we have progressed, with China now our second largest trading partner and trade growing every month. Quang Tat was born in Guangdong Province, which is a delightful coincidence because more than a century later, Guangdong and New South Wales have entered into a sister state relationship, which has become precious to both sides. And one of my priorities as Premier is to strengthen that relationship and look forward to working in the months, hopefully in the years ahead, to do so. And I hope that if Quang could see us now, he'd be very proud of what he sees with that relationship, the strength of it and the growth in the trade that has happened. And that he'd also be very proud of what he sees as the vital role in the development of our community that the Chinese have made. And the Chinese have been a community and still are one that value education, that is filled with a spirit of independence, enterprise, and one noted for its generosity and its concern for social issues. And it's therefore a very great honour for myself to be with you tonight to help present these awards, and in doing so, honour the memory of those three legends that I mentioned earlier, and also send our collective best wishes back to Perth, through Barry, to Jack. And I can think of no better way to celebrate Australia Day, no better way to celebrate the Chinese New Year than to present these awards to four outstanding Australians. They represent the best of Australia, they represent the best of our Chinese heritage. And in a spirit of celebration, I'll try and get this right, in a spirit of celebration, I wish you all Kung Hai Fat Choi, Kung Si Fa Chai.
William Ho is founder of Chinese Community Association and has worked tirelessly to create a Chinese New Year festival in Parramatta. His work for youth and elderly won him the Citizenship of the Year award for Parramatta City Council. In recent years, Mr. Ho's community work has moved beyond Parramatta to Eastwood and Harold City Council. His work with the young people is aimed at keeping them off the street by offering healthy alternative activities such as self-defense, line dancing, and social networking. As a Tai Chi master, he has organized classes for older people in the middle of Four in the front, four in the front, one in the front, and all the VIPs in the back.
The recipient.
The recipient in the front,
Yeah, that was good.
Can I also, after this photograph, to ask the judging panels to join us to have a group photograph, please? So can the judging panel also join us at the group photograph?
Oh yeah, let's see it.